Hello again, everybody. It's time for some Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Whis. I'm one of your players today, and I will be playing Chifley Forde. The boy. The boy's had a rough time. And someone else has had a rough time. My lovely, talented, amazing partner. Introduce themselves, please.
Hi, I'm Candlestick, and today I'm going to be playing Cassie Trebleclef, my wonderful little fairy toon who has not had as big of a time as Chifley, but has been it's been slowly building over a few months.
Look, these things aren't really comparables. If it hurts, it hurts. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and that's an important thing to remember.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. So this FPS is taking place no more than 2 weeks after the Familial Ground FPS. So if you haven't listened to that one, there is going to be some context missing. And if you're following Chifley or Cassie's storylines, there's going to be spoilers if you haven't seen that one. So, yeah, you guys can manage your own shit. It's all good. So this is taking place in Toontown. And, Dorian Trebleclef has been coming in and out in the process of relocating, I believe, is what he's been up to the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I imagine a fair amount of time has been spent just moving moving everything and you know figuring out where is he going to live, is he getting his own apartment, is he staying with them, would uh all those sort of things, as well as just uh being around for the two of them, because oh boy, that was some news.
It sure was some news. And Chiff, over the last 2 weeks, he's been to work twice, and both times he came home early. He went and he did his best. He tried to just, maintain the status quo, but he couldn't. And so he's been moping. Is probably about the best word.
He's on bereavement leave.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And Missy she missed a little bit of school, but for kids it's better to not sit around and mope. So Chifley has, and probably with Dorian's more capable encouragement, got her to go to school at least over this last week. Maybe not the full 2 weeks, but at least this last week, to just go a little bit more every day until she gets back into used to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. When
today's
when something like that shakes up your life so much, it can be good to have something normal to
yeah,
feel like things are normal.
absolutely. But today is the weekend, and Dorian and Missy are out and about. It's time to do something fun, something nice, and Chifley is spending the day face down on the couch, is where he currently is.
Well, I suppose then, would you like to roll a perception?
Sure, I'm going to do it at disadvantage because he's not paying attention. What is your perception? Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so 9.
Is that enough to hear the knock on the door?
Um, he probably hears it and makes a grunt noise, but doesn't make any particular efforts to get up. But if she would like to try the handle, it's not locked. She can just let herself in.
Okay, because it's funny, I might roll an intelligence and see how long it takes her to try the door handle. Oh god, I forgot where I put my sheet.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Here we are. Oh, good. That's a flat zero.
Oh.
Uh, it takes her a little bit. Like, I think, she she's maybe standing there for like 5 minutes, like sort of,
Yeah. Like,
uh,
she knows he's there because Dorian told her he was there. He wasn't going anywhere. So it's like, it's not that he's not around, he's just not answering the door.
yeah, I think, yeah, and then she's like, oh, maybe I could try the handle. Yeah, it opens, and I think, as she steps in, she calls out, uh, Chifley? Hello?
Mm. Mm. There's just this grunt from the couch.
Um, do, uh, do the forts have a, shoes on or off in the house?
Uh, Shoes off.
Alright, then yeah, I think,
So they'll
she
have a little.
does,
They'll have a little setup near the door. So it's.
yeah, I think she takes a moment to remove her flats before, s- um, coming coming in. It it definitely makes her footsteps, that very, very light padding because she's still got socks on.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So the Ford's apartment is it's not super huge. So once you come away from the door, you're in the main living area there, and it's very easy to spot Chifley face down on the couch, and it looks like he's been there for a while. And he's not in his full normal outfit. He's not wearing his cloak or his gloves or his coat. And I actually have a little picture of what his tank looks like because I feel like that. So
Oh,
it's a little high necked tank top type thing. So it's no sleeves but a high collar.
oh, that's cute.
And yeah, and just his pants and socks. He's just face down.
Okay. Because Cassie is a younger child, I think she's going to go and sit on him.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. You know what else is funny? I'm gonna do him a con save. That is a 7. So Cassie will just plop herself down on him. Is she like sitting on his butt or something? Or on his back?
Yeah, like that sort of spot.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah. Where you would assume it is not going to be really, really bony.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there's just this noise from him that's kind of it's not a wheeze because she hasn't squished all the air out of his lungs because she's not been sitting on that part of him, but it's just like this similar. It's like, oh, I've just been sat on, and like he's not used to that by people who are bigger than Missy. And he just sort of flail a little bit and then prop himself up on his elbows and turn his head to look behind him.
Okay, I have to. I'm rolling a deception. Oh, you get the most angelic smile.
Oh, that's great. So Chip's just sort of blinking at her, and it seems to be taking a moment to sort of process. And he looks tired, like he's got dark circles under his eyes a bit, and he just sort of takes a second, and then it's like, Cassie, you're. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
It's okay. I came around to see how you were doing.
Kind
And I
of
think
gives a
she
little
does
shrug.
it. She has hopped off him at this stage.
Yeah, he's going to, when she gets off, he'll push himself up and swing his legs around so he's sitting on the couch rather than trying to melt into it. Well, I'm alright, he says, like a lying liar. I'm going to roll him a deception now, which you are free to contest. Oh, wow, Chifley. Okay.
Well, good news is she has advantage on this roll.
Mm.
Thank you, Flower Crown, for your all of your help.
For your service, yeah. Meets it, beats it. Oh, one of those things is not like the other, gosh.
For the audience, that's an 18 and a 4.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Yeah, so he gives a little, I'm alright. You can see the dark circles under his eyes, and the fact that you found him face down on the couch and he didn't answer the door. Yeah, not so much.
There's the raised eyebrow and the
He just sort of looks at you for a long moment. It's like, am I gonna just stick to this story? He kind of rubs his arm a little bit. I'm alright, given the circumstances.
Yeah, and yeah, I think she'll nod at that. And do you want to talk about it?
I'm not used to talking about my problems. I don't want to bore you with them.
There's a little bit of a chuckle in the. No problem.
He kind of just fiddles with his fingers a little bit, like he's not quite sure what to say now. Like he's very used to people pressing, but she's just like, yeah, all right. He's like,
Oh, she will not press.
Mm.
She definitely will, and I think she might even say that you don't have to talk if you don't want to. It can help. I think.
No, you're right. I know it can. We have people at work who need to get things off their chest sometimes in order to give them appropriate care, but well, I'm not qualified yet, but they say doctors make the worst patients. And he tries to smile a little bit.
Yeah, you will get a sad smile in return.
I'm gonna do an insight for Mr. Chifley. Yep. That is a nat one. That tracks, actually. Yep. He's got nothing. So he's just gonna lean back against the back cushion of the couch and sort of pat the cushion next to him. You're welcome to take a seat if you like.
She will do that sort of hop jump onto the seat next to him. She's not very strong, so I don't know if I'll roll a strength, but I don't know if it will
bounce him up.
Bounce him at all.
Please roll high. That'd be so funny. I'm gonna do a dex save. Okay, I reckon because the difference between those two isn't particular, it's not super huge. He probably does get bounced up, and he sort of grabs onto the arm of the couch beside him, but doesn't actually fall off the couch.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a cheeky grin on her face, But there is also the well, I mean, I will give this to you despite the 8
Mm-hmm.
nat 1 insight before, is that you do manage to get that this is also an effort to try and help cheer you up. Because that's not something she's trying to hide.
Yeah. Okay. And I think after he's sort of gone, oh gosh, am I going to hit the floor? Okay. Nope. All right. He's just gonna give her a. It is a genuine smile. It's weak, but it's genuine. It
Mm.
it is good to see you. I've been well, I we didn't really get to talk much after the last time we spoke.
No, though. I can't exactly blame you for that.
It was. I'm glad that he told us, but and he just sort of lifts a hand and rubs at his face. I hate being right sometimes, you know?
When it's bad and you don't want it to be.
And he motions with his hand to a little table on the other side, and there's 2 photos in 2 little separate frames on there, and there's some incense and a few little other things. At least they're together again now.
And there's definitely like some gears turning in Cassie's head. And she, I guess she asks, your mum's gone as well, huh?
Yeah. She died. She was very sick. And it wasn't long after Father left on tour that she couldn't hold on anymore. But when he never came back, we hoped we could find him. But wherever they are now, they're not alone.
Aww. And you're welcome to roll another insight on Cassie if you'd like, but she just sort of
That's more like it, boya.
Yeah, the your mum being sick, there was definitely a look of familiarity and understanding there when you said that. And uh, yeah, she looks really sad, both for you and also like for herself. Like, it's definitely bringing up painful memories. But yeah, she will pull you into a hug.
He'll lean into her a little bit and just he'll reach his hand over and just squeeze hers just a little bit. I wasn't going to ask, but I did notice that Dorian lived alone as well.
Yeah. Um, I mean, it was it was a while ago. Um, about uh, 9 years ago now. So, you know, but she was also sick, and there's it. It was hard.
I don't think things like this are ever easy. When you love them so much, and then you've got a void of some sort where there used to be.
Mm. She nods. It gets easier, mostly.
I hope so.
You learn to live with it.
It's only been 2 years since we lost her. Goodness knows how long it's been since he passed away. We've been alone that long. But I hope it gets easier. And he kind of wheezes a little bit and then distinctly stops talking. He doesn't quite snap his jaw shut, but he's just very abruptly just like, no more talking.
Oh, oh. Um, I think she's gonna take his hand and squeeze. Um, I'm gonna roll a history for her. Okay. Um, she noticed the notebook last time, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's enough to get that maybe the same thing's happening again?
Yeah, I think it might not click straight away, but she definitely might, after this his silence drags out a little bit, might get the idea that maybe he's losing his voice again.
Hmm. I think is is this one of the times you need the notebook?
He does jolt a little bit and winces ever so slightly and looks away.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
And he shakes his head and looks back at her, and he looks. You can roll an insight, actually.
Sure.
15. Yep.
Yeah.
So he looks a little like he looks sad. He looks tired, and he looks a little bit ashamed. But he kind of sort of fiddles with his fingers, flexes them his hands a bit, and then I'm gonna roll in my hammer space. Yep. He sort of reaches behind him a little bit because he doesn't have his normal cloak on him, and pulls the notebook out, and he'll just write on there, "Sorry, I don't normally get like this much."
How come it happens?
There's this long pause of the pen hovering over the paper, and you can see the internal debate on his face. It's just, and then he actually, I am gonna roll him a thing. What am I gonna roll for you, boy? Actually, yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yep, sure. 23. We'll deal with that. He does put the pen to the paper and he writes, I lose my voice when I'm stressed or upset. It's not perfect.
There is I do think that laugh is in character because there's like it's like a yeah I get that um sort of
There's this sort of stunned blink. She's like, I don't get why that's funny. What joke did I miss?
I'm sorry. It's um I can understand exactly how hard that would be to deal with. Or maybe not exactly because it's not happened to me, but I can imagine.
He shakes his head a little bit and then writes again. It's not perfect because I don't have a real voice anymore. And he writes that very, very slowly.
Oh. That how are you gonna respond to that, Cassie? Because that's definitely like a what? I think I think you get that sort of expression on her face. And she asks, Are you all right?"
He does a hand wobble.
Right, right. Oh. I'm sorry that it happened.
Like you said, it gets easier to deal with over time. And then he's just gonna write water ? Tea ?
Yeah. I can help.
And he'll smile and nod. And like his last smile, it is genuine, but it's difficult. It's like everything is just so much harder. But he'll put his book down on the couch and stand up and offer to help her up, even though she's not that much shorter than him, really.
I think she might have jumped up and be standing on the couch with the "I can help."
And he'll just shake his head a bit. And the smile gets a little bit brighter. And then he'll lead the way to the kitchen. And I am going to roll him another thing to see whether or not tea helps him get his voice back. It's not for a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, him writing rather than me having to do his voice does make me cry a lot less, but
That's fair.
But yeah, no. So he'll go up into the kitchen and he'll point out that the kettle and the tea and where the glasses and the mugs are and see what variety of helping takes Cassie's fancy.
I don't know. Probably like she like when he points things out, I think she probably sort of like bit of a bundle of energy like goes around and grabs things out and puts them down next to the kettle sort of thing. Like, yeah, I'm helping, I'm retrieving.
And he'll once all the stuff is there, he'll just make tea. I'm gonna do him that roll again. the process of making tea didn't calm him down enough. Let's see. Hey, that's a 25. That's much better. So I'm going to say that he was completely silent through the whole tea making process. But then, like, he has his tea and he takes a long sip of the tea and just really deep breath and then sighs and then coughs a little bit and very weakly. I think I'm getting there.
I think Cassie's sort of like watching him, like what as it happens, like, is this helping sort of thing, like taking notes.
Well, he does definitely seem more comfortable once his voice sort of starts to come back. But do you want to roll another insight?
Of course.
15. Okay, yeah. So he's definitely relaxing much more once his voice is slowly coming back to him. And having someone around who's not trying to ask him questions does seem to be helping too. And Missy has been a little bit meh. So the fact that Cassie has that same sort of boundless enthusiasm, that's actually helping quite a bit too. He is kind of just sort of, oh, this is familiar and this is comfortable and there's no expectation to say anything. But like no one was like he could talk to Cassie whereas he couldn't say anything to Missy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it does help that Cassie's older as well. But funny you should mention, she's bubbly and bouncy. And would you like to roll another insight on her?
Certainly. 17.
Alright, and I probably should roll this as well. Okay. Oh, okay.
Was that a deception?
Yes.
Oh dear. Okay.
No, she seems fine.
Oh dear. Alright. Chif will just continue to sip at his tea and you'd think that in if you've lost your voice and you're just sort of testing it, you might hum or something like that, but he doesn't do that. He just sort of sips at his tea until it's all gone and then puts the cup back down on the bench and takes another one of those deep breaths. Sorry about that. I lost my voice more times in the last 2 weeks than probably the last year. It's been rough.
I can imagine.
You'd think I'd know sign by now, but guess maybe I should learn.
I'm learning a little bit of it at the moment. It's been fun.
It would be useful at work. Not everybody can speak, but lots of people know sign. I hope not to lose the grip on my voice anymore, but
Damn it.
is that another deception?
Yeah, you said something that I felt like needed to roll again for it.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just roll another insight to contest it. Yeah, no, it's a 22 versus a 24. It's a lot closer, but I mean, means Chif's starting to feel better. That's good. Starting from a nat 1, heck. And yeah, okay. So Chif's not really noticed anything, but he is sort of looking at his hands, and he is making a few signs, but they're very basic ones. And because Cassie's learning a little bit, she can tell like he's just going through the few pieces of cartoon sign that he actually knows, which is not much. Like it's not enough to, ask directions or have a conversation with. It's literally like 4 words.
Yeah, I needed this sort of to figure out what level Cassie was at a little while ago for another game. And I basically have her as being enough to have a very stilted conversation, but it takes a while.
Yeah, fair enough. And Tiff's gonna start looking around the kitchen and then go over to the pantry and pull out a bag of chips and offer it to her. Do you want something to eat? We don't have much at the moment, but
Yeah, that sounds nice.
he'll just hand her the bag and fetch one from there. They're slow little snack bags. Sorry, I'm not really not very good company at the moment.
You're fine. I mean, you weren't expecting me to come over, and I know that this isn't, well. She sort of just like gestures with her hands with like a sort of shrug, kind of.
He'll nod and he'll sort of just fiddle with his chip packet and then open it and then shove some chips in his mouth so that he doesn't actually have to say anything. And I'll give that one to you for free. Like, you can just sort of tell that this is like, if I've got food in my mouth, I can't talk.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna roll again because I think maybe they've been sitting a little bit in silence.
Yep. They're only snack-sized chip bags, so it's not going to save him for long. Well, okay. He's feeling better. That's a nat 20 now. On that insight check. Shit. Going to avoid your problems by trying to figure out Cassie's problems. Okay, good work, Chif.
I think maybe it's because you guys are sort of like not talking, and maybe it's the when you're trying really, really hard for someone else and then you think you've got a point where you don't have to and it can just drop. Unfortunately, in that case, it's her soundtrack also reflects that.
Yeah. And I think Chif's going to clock that immediately. Like, as soon as she's sort of gone, okay, the visage is not up anymore. I can't keep it there anymore. He's like, okay.
I will say, maybe something that's a little bit impressive to Chifley for someone who can't actually hear the soundtrack herself is how well she's been able to hide that part of the soundtrack underneath her usual sound.
Yeah. And he's just going to give her a little bit of a look and put his empty chip packet down on the bench and then go over and put a hand on her arm. I know you came here to check on me, but are you okay?
I think, yeah, I'm gonna roll with that 12. She sort of starts and tries to give him a smile, and a yeah, you know me. I'm always happy.
And he just sort of gives her a look. You're very good at putting on airs, but I can hear it in your theme. Something's wrong.
And it her her expression stays still like the same, but the uh like I guess like clashing of cymbals and stuff does get louder. And okay, I think yeah, I'm gonna roll. Oh no.
That's a 9.
That was a whiz save. um as you say that, there is very obviously cracks beginning to form in her facade, and like it's obvious she's trying still, but it's definitely not working.
He's gonna pull her close and just hug her close to his chest so that she can actually hear his heartbeat through his chest. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. You won't push me, I won't push you. But if I can help, I'm much better at other people's problems than my own.
There's a bit of a sob, and I'm sorry. It's been a lot. I'm just angry and upset, and it's just been lots of little things that I'm tired of it, and I'm just I'm so tired of being in the talk about things, and like, I can't believe Dad. I can't believe he kept this from me. I can't believe he didn't trust me with it, and then I can, because it's always been this way. Cassie, it's okay. Don't worry about why Dad and Chris are fighting. It's just tough, and you just need to be patient with them. Or why is Mum not doing well? And it's like, it's all right, sweetie. We'll tell you when you're older. And I'm tired of being left out of the loop.
He doesn't have a verbal response, but he does squeeze her a little tighter.
And I think the floodgates have kind of opened, and so she's just like, it's all coming out. And and then I'm also angry at Chris, because she didn't come when I performed.
Your sister.
And I was hoping that maybe she would, that I knew she was angry at me. I knew she said that I but I thought maybe she would still come, and she didn't. And and then I find out from someone else who's seen her that she's here in Toontown, and she misses me, but obviously not enough to come, not enough to support me, and I'm tired of. I just. Is it selfish to want things for myself? Because it feels really selfish right now.
I don't think it's selfish. It isn't easy for everyone to think of their own well-being. And you know that he's talking about himself there. But you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be. And if your sister doesn't appreciate you doing what is right for you, then she doesn't deserve your care. You have nothing to apologize for. It's her loss.
It still hurts.
I know. But you've got us now. If you need us. And maybe one day you'll be able to talk to your sister and find out why. That you need to do what's right for you. You have the opportunity, the chance, the freedom to do what is in your heart. So you should take it.
Oh, Cassie, dear.
That's not much. That's not much at all.
That was another Whis save.
Also, Chifley is pointedly ignoring how much of a hypocrite he's being right now, but that's not the point.
I think, yeah, those words, I think the tears sort of start flowing harder. But she does manage, sorry, I'm just trying to find the words. God, they were in my mind and then I lost them.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, she's like, the tears are like, you know, the whole, you try and wipe your eyes but then it just like starts harder.
Mm-hmm.
And she sorry, I was trying to be here for you because I know you're going through a lot.
Sadness and this sort of thing is not something I'm unaccustomed to. I'll be alright. things that weigh down on the heart eventually become too much to bear. And it's not worth holding on to them when you could just let them go. Some things are tied down, lashed on with chains, but some things you can just let slip through the cracks. They're not worth holding on to.
Were those insight rolls?
Yes.
Okay. Well, a 9. Okay, so it's only just worse than average. Yeah, Chif's... You definitely get the impression that Chif is talking about himself when he says that there's stuff lashed to your heart and you can't let them go. And given a whole context of why you're here, you reckon it's got to do with his parents. But if you want more details, you're definitely going to have to press him for them.
Okay. How is Cassie going to respond to this? Because that was definitely not very good.
I can't even just say, I'll give you advantage because you've got advantage already.
But she is also currently in tears, which actually I might make another Whis save, see how she's doing.
Not great.
How? She's getting worse!
Poor kid.
Holding it in for too long.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, okay. I think what she says is how do you let go?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? I must sound like such a hypocrite. I've never been very good at letting things go. Little things I can forgive. Missy getting arrested, I can forgive.
That's sort of a okay. It's definitely the half sob, half choked back surprised laughter at the she did what?
Chifley going at the tension bubble with a knife.
But it's... some things are harder. Your joints lock in around it, and you keep it so close to your chest it feels like it's part of you. It's hard to let go of some things that feel like they're part of you. But if they don't feel like they're inescapable, then if your sister is here, we can track her down. You can ask her your questions yourself, and she'll have no choice but to answer them. Whereas, not all problems can be confronted so easily. Not all weights have a cure.
You have some, right?
Well, losing our parents does weigh quite a bit. It's still quite new, quite raw. Others have scabbed over and left scars. And you can roll an insight on that if you would like.
Sure, I'm gonna make another whiz save as well. Do you think I maybe have advantage on the whiz save at this point?
Yeah, I think that tension burst of Missy got arrested. What? Probably startled her out of sobbing just a smidge.
Ah, there we go. 17. Okay, she's definitely calming down now.
Mhm.
And I will roll that insight again. Ooh, that's better.
18. Nice. Okay. He is speaking both metaphorically and literally is the feeling that you get.
Hmm.
And like you can look at him, like he is showing a lot more skin than he normally does. You can see his whole arms. He doesn't appear to have any scars on his arms.
Hmm. Does Chifley maybe want to roll an insight on Cassie?
Sure, I will give you one other thing for that 18. This entire time, that's a 21. This entire time that he's spent with her, even leading her to the kitchen and making this tea, he has not turned his back to her once.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Chifley with that 21, you can see she's put these pieces together, and there is a very suspicious look on her face as she's sort of like, you know, like almost like just trying to like definitely her eyes are on him, and as she's been piecing this together, and so that expression is very, very clear that, yeah.
Yep. Like, she's like taking what you say is like, okay, you're gonna elaborate on that, Twink? Okay. Yeah. He is not going to be the one to follow up after that remark. But he seems a little bit glad that he can hear that she sort of cheered up a little bit.
You've been hurt.
It's not a wince, it's sort of that half wince, and he looks away. A long time ago now.
But the scars are still there.
I don't know that they'll ever go away. Some things will never heal.
Are they bad?
Well,
And you can tell he's sort of debating lying about it. Like, and you know what? I'm gonna roll him a whiz just to see whether or not he decides to try. Are you going to? Yeah, you're gonna try and lie about it. Okay, great. Let's just roll your deception ahead of time. He sort of like he's still kind of half holding onto her in this hug, but he sort of looks away. It's
fine.
The look on her face is enough to tell you she does not believe you in the slightest.
He's just sort of, this is why I'm not looking directly at you. I can't see that expression that I know is there. And she doesn't even have to say anything. There's just this pause, and he's just like, maybe if I keep telling myself that it'll actually happen one day.
I don't think so.
Do you want to roll a persuasion?
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Come on, Cassie. You can do this.
Dirty 20. Beauty.
I think maybe, what was you said before about not having to go through things alone? You have family now you can lean on?
He does that half kind of wince again, and you can feel his arms sort of tense up before he lets go of Cassie from that hug. And he hesitates. He absolutely hesitates. But he takes in a deep breath. All right. But
I will say, when, if he looks at her, there's no judgment on her face. Just like, I want to help.
Sure. And he's nervous, but then just don't touch it.
Okay.
And he backs up from her a little bit, and he starts taking off his shirt. And he only half sort of takes it off, and then and you can kind of see him shaking as he turns around. And I'm going to put a picture in the roll zone, but I'm also going to put it under a spoiler, so anyone looking at the roll zone later doesn't have to look at scars if they don't like.
Yep, fair enough.
Trigger of warning. Scars. But he slowly turns around, and there is, around where his shoulder blades are, there is a mark. And it's he had referred to it as like a scar. It's definitely a scar, but it's the kind that looks like it came from a burn. And like, Cassie doesn't have the kind of medical knowledge that I know Chris has, but yeah, you don't have to kind of know this. It's burnt badly, and it's still red raw in places, and it sort of has this weird blue tinge. And it actually looks like it hurt a lot.
The other thing I'm noticing is that this is something that looks deliberate.
Oh yeah. Like, it's not a burn as in like got splashed with acid or hot water or fell on a fire. It's a distinct emblem. It would have had to have been something in that shape pressed into his back.
I think maybe with the shaking, I think Cassie might have taken like one of his hands and given it a squeeze, and she definitely doesn't touch it. That it's a lot for her to take in. But I guess she asks, does it hurt?
Sometimes. When I lose my voice, it's when it hurts the most.
Hand squeeze. I'm sorry this happened to you.
That was a long time ago now. And it's not as though it went unpunished. But you still have to live with the consequences of other people's choices. And, well, the rest of my life. After 10 years, if it doesn't go away, probably never will.
Another hand squeeze. Just, yeah, like, she doesn't really have the words that it's not fair. And Chifley is like the probably one of the nicest people she's ever met. And it might have been a long time ago, but that doesn't mean that it can't hurt now. And it really, really sucks. And she wishes there was more that she could do to help, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna roll him something else.
So yeah, she just tries and conveys that through giving his hand another squeeze.
Oh, good.
Oh no.
That's not a good roll, Chifley.
Oh no.
Um,
That's a 6. What's that a 6 in, Whis?
Do you want to roll another insight?
Sure. 14.
All right, great. All right, I got a question for you. Has Cassie ever had a migraine?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Chifley's just standing there. He still looks really uncomfortable. And after maybe a couple of moments, he's still sort of shaking, but he looks distinctly unwell now. Like that he's in pain, but it may not necessarily be from the thing on his back.
Oh dear. And I don't know. I think maybe she's. I'll roll her medicine, which I don't think she has. Oh, okay. Well, that's bards for you. I'm sure she's picked up some stuff, maybe from living with her sister. 10. It's average.
It's average. Yeah, if nothing else, it looks like he's got a bit of a headache. Like just from the way his face is sort of scrunched up. You reckon he has a hurting of the head of some capacity.
And there's a your headache. Sit. And I think she's like, what do you do when someone has a headache? Does he have any like pain relief? Maybe fluids? Maybe the lights? And I'll roll her investigation to see how well she's going at retrieving some stuff after she told him to sit and is now trying to help.
Yep. 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 Yep.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, good. Well, luckily, the way things are in the Forde household are fairly predictable. Like, he's got a little medicine cabinet with the fantasy equivalent of paracetamol and
Yeah.
yeah.
The thought is as far out of reach of Missy as possible.
Oh yeah. It's easier said than done when once they start moving around under their own power, but oh dear. But yeah, no, she's able to find what it is she's looking for with quite like it may as well be her house. It's like, oh yeah, there's blankets over there and there's water over here. Like she knows where all that is from the tea making endeavors. It's easy.
Yeah, there is a running commentary the entire time this is happening as she's talking out loud to herself, like, okay, and water, that's easy, that's tap, and blanket, and as she's like running back and forth, like she wants to help.
Mm. And over the course of her doing this, he has sort of pulled his shirt back down because he didn't take it all the way off. He's pulled it back down over the burn on his back. And now he's just sort of sitting on the couch and he's got one hand to his temple. And it's just, okay, I wasn't expecting that to kick in now, but here we are.
Yeah, and then yeah, there's a blanket thrown on him, and then there's like water sort of gently put in his hands, and then followed by like some pain relief, and then once she's like, all right, and she has I mean, I'm sure it's in the day, but maybe she went and closed some curtains and stuff to reduce some of the light around, and then like when she's like, okay, it's everything I can think of, and then she's just like, I don't know, she comes back and probably like perches on the end of the coffee table, like, are you okay?
Oh, he's gonna had the water and had the pain relief, and still he's got one elbow on the arm of the couch, and his fingers pressed into his temple, and he just cracks one eye open to look at her. Sorry, this happens sometimes, and like you can tell that it's a painful headache, and the pain relief hasn't quite kicked in yet. But it's like that's not something he's unfamiliar with, so he's just like it will pass.
Is this connected to the voice? And there's a bit of a gesture.
He's still sort of nursing this headache, but you can see his expression go thoughtful. I don't think so, unless I've done something to it and it's decided to make things worse.
Just unlucky then.
Maybe I'm not eating enough. Or she did say I was looking thin. I'm always thin. And he's just sort of talking to himself now, for the most part, and rubbing at the side of his head.
There is definitely a curious look at the she said. He was looking thin. But also the food. And I think she's gonna go like springing back across the room to try and find food, like something of substance that's not chips.
Do you want to actually
You
Should I?
should roll something, but I don't know that it's necessary. Yeah, you get the feeling that Chifley hasn't done groceries in about a week and a half. You reckon that that'd probably change as soon as that Dorian picks up on that? Because
Oh yeah.
there's
Oh
no
yeah.
way that your dad would let these two starve. But like,
Nope.
it's
That's the first thing he will go for too,
yeah,
because
it's not been
cooking
Chip's
is something
priority.
he loves.
Well, that's fair enough, but it's not been Chip's priority. Chip's priority has been lying face down on the couch up until this point.
That's fair. The there's a look of okay.
Mm.
And a mental note: tell Dad to get food.
And I'm gonna roll him one last thing.
But she's also sort of like glancing back over her shoulder, like, is he still okay?
Yeah, he's doing all right. You reckon he's about 10 minutes away from dozing off though? Like he's just sort of got his eye closed and he's chill.
That was a perception, by the way.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. You can find some like there's a can of beans and crusts of a loaf of bread. And like flour. There's cooking stuff like flour and raw pasta and things like that, but nothing you could really grab. And there's nothing to have with the pasta.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, groceries is definitely gonna have to happen soon. Otherwise, they're not gonna have a good time. But
Yeah, there's a bit of a huff. Like she's not, she knows he's been going through some stuff at the moment, but also gestures at his cupboard.
yeah, it'd be like that. And because that was a 23 as well, when she turns around to look at him very judgmentally at the state of the pantry, he has fallen asleep where he's sitting on the couch.
Fair enough. I think does he look like he's gonna fall off it, or need to be adjusted so that he doesn't end up with like a bad back, or
Uh,
like a foot falling asleep, or
Nah, he looks pretty good. Like he's not bent over at a really bad angle or anything. Like his head is still sort of propped up by his hand. If anything though, he'll fall backwards against the back of the couch if he loses balance. But
fair enough.
he's definitely doing the anime sitting up thing, perfectly balanced.
I think mm, can with that I should probably roll again to find pillows that she can put like on either side of the couch in case he falls either way.
Well, you got a nat 20 for that stuff earlier, so you can find it, no problem.
Cool. Then yeah, she's gonna um I'm gonna put them there like haha. And probably clear off the table. I should probably roll a stealth for this. This could go either really good or really bad. Okay, that's not a bad modifier. 16, yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
that's pretty alright.
yeah. I don't think that's enough to wake him. Maybe a little bit of clinking of glasses and teacups. But
Yeah, no, he's
yeah.
dead to the world. Like, given how tired he looked when you walked in the door, you're not actually that surprised.
Yeah, I think that, and probably going to leave a note in the entrance hall for Dorian and Missy when they get back.
Mm.
And Maybe another little one for Chifley. Like, where would she leave that one? Just thinking. His notebook still on the table?
It's on the couch cushion next to him. He didn't put it away.
Fair enough. Then I think she'll leave, probably like a little sticky note on top of it that says, thanks for letting me talk. You can know that I'm always happy to lend an ear whenever you want.
No.
And yeah, I think she's gonna let herself out.
No.
I think when she gets outside, she probably does take like one of those heavy breaths, like, okay, that was a lot. But I'm okay. He's okay. It's gonna be okay even if it doesn't feel like it at the moment.
We just need Chifley to take his own advice now. Oh dear. Well, those were some feels. Oh boy. Well, thank you, Candle.
Thank you, Whis. Thank you for indulging me in this. This has been great.
I cried several times throughout that. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't cry, but I definitely got emotions.
Sounded like you were crying. You did really well on that. Gosh.
I was full of emotions at that point, but no tears. It was weird.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, part of the reason why Chiff lost his voice at all is because I was crying too much to keep talking.
Oh.
It's like, okay, well, I think I need to disconnect myself from Chiff's words now. Oh boy. So that was a thing. But anyway.
Fair. That's fair. Sometimes you need to take away the character's voice so that you yourself can gather yourself back together.
Yep. Method acting. Lol. Oh dear. Well, thanks everyone for listening. This has been fun, an emotional time, yet fun.
It's been great. It's been cathartic.
Yeah, they'll be okay in the end. Oh dear. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop my recording. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.